Let's see if somebody else has got a question, and then we'll come back to you if you've got some more.
Yeah, I have a concern. This Obamacare that Charlie Wilson voted for went against his constituents and voted for, and that's why he lost the election, because he never listened to his constituents. That Obamacare that he voted for, how is that going to affect the veterans' health care?
Yeah, well, TRICARE was exempt from the health care law. The good news is that those veterans that are on TRICARE, isn't that correct, Laura? I believe I've got that right. TRICARE was exempt from any increases associated with the health care law. How it's going to affect veterans, though, you know, the veterans are people that need jobs. The health care law is a job killer. 40% of America's businesses are saying that the health care law is the reason that they cannot grow and hire and expand their businesses. I mean, the American people, you know, the Supreme Court about a month and a half ago made a decision that the health care law was going to stand as the law of the land. But a couple of things that the Supreme Court did not do. The Supreme Court did not say that it was a good law. The Supreme Court did not say that it was good policy or good medicine. And we know that that's not true, because it puts in the hands of 15 unelected bureaucrats in Washington, D.C. your health care decisions, rather than health care decisions being made between doctors and their patients. How is it going to affect veterans? Let's talk about what the Supreme Court said amounted to one of the largest tax increases on the American people in America's history. We've been saying all along that this was a tax increase, that there was going to be billions of dollars in increased taxes on the American people. The president denied that. Members of the administration denied that. People like Nancy Pelosi and Charlie Wilson, they denied that. The Supreme Court has now validated it is a tax. If it looks like a tax, it's treated like a tax, it acts like a tax, then it's a tax. And that was the basis upon which they found that it would stand, because of Congress's constitutional authority to levy taxes. Let's look at some of those taxes. $23 billion in new taxes associated with a change and a cap in what Americans can invest in a health savings account. The health care law caps it at $2,500 a year. Before, Americans were able to put more money into a health savings account and pay for their routine health care at less cost. Now, anything over $2,500, they're going to pay tax on that. That's going to generate $23 billion in additional taxes. $5 billion in additional taxes associated with the fact that you can't use a health savings account to buy over-the-counter medications. You're going to pay tax on those. You can't use your health savings account for that. $62 billion on the insurance carriers themselves. I don't know who doesn't know business. Everybody knows that businesses are going to pass that on to the consumer. So veterans and everybody else, just like all Americans, are going to experience the burden of that tax increase. $123 billion in investment taxes for those that make over $250,000 a year. Now, who are those people that make over $250,000 a year? Those are your business, your job creators. Those are businesses. 50% of those that make over $250,000 a year get 25% of their income as a pass-through, because those are your subchapter S's, your LLCs, and let's not forget what I talked about at the very beginning. Those are veterans that are trying to start a business and a company. That's how veterans are going to be hurt by the health care law. Fortunately, TRICARE itself has been exempted. That's a good thing.
Thank you.
Another question. Yes, sir, back here in the red hat. Is that your real hair, or is that one of those,
That's for you to figure out. Hey, I'm not here to.
I like it, by the way.
There.
There you go.
Hey, I hope I don't goof this up. My name's Sam Burkhart, and I'm a Korean veteran. And I'm not here to hurt anybody, but you know you have to fill out your forms for the VA
Right.
out there. Okay? I talk to people and says, I just put my name, I don't have to put nothing else. Then another guy said, what form are you talking about? I said, well, I'll tell you one thing, buddy. They sent me a letter and said if I didn't fill that form out, that I might as well not come there. Then they turn around and anybody's got insurance, they bill them insurance companies. And I don't think that's right.
There's a lot broken in the VA. I'm not going to deny that. I cannot deny that there's a lot broken in how we're caring for our veterans. And you'll go to a VA center and get an answer to this question over here. You'll go to another one, you'll get a different answer. Those are some of the kinds of things that we're trying to weed out. There's approximately, and this is going to blow your mind, Laura, what's the number? 300,000 people that work in the VA across the nation. It's a big, big number of people that work in the VA. It is a monstrous bureaucracy. And I know that there are pockets of people and excellence, people that want to do a good job, but it has become so bureaucratic and so unwieldy and so complicated. We had a hearing about a month ago where we talked with Secretary Panetta, Department of Defense, and Secretary Shinseki, the VA Secretary, where they were addressing this issue of a single health care system for veterans. They're saying it's going to take another 5 years to get there. They've been working on this for years. For years. And, I don't know, those two gentlemen, I believe, and I told them this, I believe they are sincere in their motivation to do what's right by our nation's veterans. But I don't believe that everybody in their departments are. Because I don't believe they're telling those two gentlemen the truth. I came from the information technology industry. I worked in it for nearly 30 years. It should not take 5 years to develop a single healthcare system that can begin when a young man or a woman joins the military, follows them all the way through their military career, and the day they step out, a flag is checked in it that says you're now a veteran, and then it just keeps going right on. There is no reason why that should take another 5 years. I don't get it. And we're going to keep fighting that. So if you've got a specific issue like that you would like us to look into for you, I want to get your name and your contact information.
I don't want anybody else involved with this because I've talked to some other ones. And, and I said, why is my name is Circle? It seems like my name's always Circle. And then when they say,
it ain't the name, sir, it's the hat. That's the issue.
now you got me confused.
They don't think you're old enough to be a veteran.
Yeah. Well, World War II guys are going now. Us guys are coming up.
Yeah.
We're the old timers.
Yeah.
And I don't want to hurt nobody like that. But it kind of gets me mad a little bit when you talk to them and they do this. And
It ought to get you mad. It ought to get all Americans mad. I think when a veteran comes in and files for their benefits, they need to be looked at as a client, as a customer, not as a captive audience. There's something wrong in our culture when we make our veterans feel like that they are that they don't deserve what they have fought for and bled for, because they do. I'm going to be going to a benefit this evening for a young man down in Washington County You know, one day he's a strapping young man with dreams of the future. The next day he wakes up, he's lost both legs and one arm. And we've got Americans like that all over this country because we're fighting a determined enemy that is determined to inflict as much damage on our young people and put as much fear into our troops as they possibly can. We have a responsibility to address that when these young people come home, and it's a constant battle. But I'll be glad to look into your situation. You know, that's another one that your comment. That's another one that concerns me. I get from veterans a lot. I'm going to tell you about my problem, Congressman, but I don't want you to get involved. Because if you get involved, somebody in the VA is going to take my file and put it on the